I don't know.
What, did the oranges taste different back in
The
the old
snozberries
days?
taste like snozberries.
Aw, good. You probably do. You like that movie?
I love that movie.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I don't know why that's a little surprising.
I
I
watched
feel
it
like
a
you'd
lot.
be scared of the Oompa Loompas.
Of all things in that movie.
That's the scariest part.
No, the scariest part is when they're in the tunnel on the boat. It's like,
No
and
one's
the grizzly is mowing.
and there's
The
no way
grizzly
to tell where we're going.
Yes.
Probably they say that
And
about
then he starts freaking out.
And they start freaking
Is
out.
the grizzly reaper mowing? That's what he says.
I believe you. I used to watch Willy Wonka and just be like, I can't believe I'll never be able to go to a factory where I could peel candy off of the wall and eat it.
Welcome to the Know His Love podcast. I am Father Michael.
I'm Mom. We got our blue raz. Yours is not that blue. Mine's probably blue.
Yours is blue. Your tongue is blue.
Yeah, you're like going so slow. What the heck?
Jeez.
I'm mad.
Sorry.
We were about to record. We were supposed to. It's 4:45. We were supposed to record at 3:30. I got here on time, and then me, you, Zachary, and Father Josh talked for a while, and then I was like, "You want to go get some blue raspberry slushies?"
Clip that out.
Yep. cut the. What is it from Full House? Cut it out. Did you ever watch that show? Were you too old? You were probably like 50 by the time that came.
50? You can do this by yourself.
Obviously, I'm kidding. You're turning 40 this year.
Yes, it was like the right time for me.
Yeah. How old were you at the time, though? It was like popular when I was very little.
So what was that?
College?
A couple years ago? So it was popular in the 90s?
20 years ago? Okay.
Right?
Oh, yeah, and into the early 2000s, because I was born in the 90s.
Okay. Yeah, so I was like, probably like late grade school, high school.
Yeah, Ashley Tisdale and... No, not Ashley Tisdale. Wait.
Ashley Olsen?
Yeah, I was like,
Mary Kate.
Why did I say that? Oh, that's fine. Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen are like, I think they're like... I'm going to be so wrong.
They're older than you, aren't they?
I feel like they're like only like 6 or 7. Let me Google it. Mary Kate.
Look up Full House and see what it was on, too.
Okay.
This is what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Full House. Did you watch Full?
Oh, gosh. Oh, I looked up Ashley Tisdale.
Is she your age?
Ashley, wait, what's the last? Olsen. No, Ashley Tisdale is 37, so I was like, why am I misunderstanding this? Oh, they're 36. I guess they're 10 years older than me, which is not like crazy.
Wow. Yeah, because watching it at the time, I assumed they were a lot younger than me.
So they're like your age.
When was that? Find out when the show was on.
Oh, okay. Hey, you.
Isn't the Scarlet Witch their sister?
Yes,
that's
Elizabeth
crazy.
Olsen.
Yeah.
Yeah, took me a while to figure that out, which is kind of weird. All right, so... Oh, the original release was in 87.
Until
95.
Oh yeah, so like grade school.
Yeah.
Just grade school.
And then, so it finished 2 years before I was born, but then like the 10, 12
12
years after that, it was still super popular.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to tilt it down a little more. What do you think?
Yeah, hang on.
Okay. Well, don't trip. What a shot. Not that was...
On the...
What? Oh, microphone.
The one where Father Matthew was on and we guessed the AI images. I did trip because I was wearing a cassock.
I haven't watched that still, I don't think.
I think I watched it because I was like, how did this turn out?
Did it look good?
It's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of those things, probably people who watch it regularly thought it was funny, but if you randomly clicked on it, you'd be like, who the hell are these people?
Yes.
Father Michael would like to advertise today the My Parish app.
It's not out yet.
Oh, were people not supposed to know about it yet?
Oh, that doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
We have it. They're going to send us.
Is there anything on it yet?
Like the stuff they put in.
Oh, okay.
So they're going to send us like little cards we can give out with a QR code.
Your confession times are on there.
Yeah, so they did all that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
May I ask how much it cost?
I think it's $50 a month.
Oh, that seems like a great investment as a parish.
Oh yeah, I think I don't know yet, but I think it's gonna be. And there was like a startup fee, $200.
Yeah, Is anybody else around here doing that?
Matthew's parish is,
Nice.
but
Okay.
they haven't rolled it out yet either.
Yeah, the gossets, man. Watch
Mhm.
out.
And so I called the guy,
Yeah.
and he listens to the podcast.
Was that random? Is he
I think
from
he's
here?
friends with Patrick Walters.
Oh,
Mhm.
that's hilarious
Yeah.
and weird.
Yeah.
Not in like a sorry, sir. You're
Tommy-
not weird. Tommy didn't mean to, but that's kind of weird that you like he's not.
Yeah.
You
And
just randomly kind of met someone.
yeah, so I was talking to my brother about it, and Matthew called them first, and he thought he
that
was
was
me.
that guy. Okay,
Yeah,
I
and
remember
then-
Father
yeah.
Matthew telling that story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So my parish app, we haven't started using it yet, but I'm excited.
It's great. Blessed Sacrament's the place to be, guys. We had
Mhm.
worship and wine the other night. It
That
was
was
so
great.
fun.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little wine bar across the street. We sent a picture to one of our family members, and they were like, "Are you hanging out in a liquor store?" Because it was like a video of Joe, and in the background was like that rack of beer, and they were like, "Are you just like chilling in a liquor store right now?" I was like, "No, it's like
there's
it's a
tables,
very cool wine
and
bar."
food.
So we had adoration worship, and then that's gonna be once a month, right?
Yeah.
And so will like parish activities and stuff be on the
everything.
my parish app?
Mhm.
Okay, great.
Calendar.
This is great. Well,
You
this is I know a lot of parishioners listen, so this is great information
Yeah,
for
no,
them.
that's true.
You just download my parish and put in
The
Wintersville
zip code.
parishes.
Yeah. You can track when you go to confession, and it will remind you when you need to go to confession again.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great because
Mhm.
sometimes I forget.
Because you don't sin.
Yeah, exactly. I like never need to go. So
Mhm.
whenever I go, I'm like, I think the last time I messed up was 5 years ago or something. So that would help. This will help me be holier.
You jumped out and scared me.
That was definitely not sinful. You're the one who cussed after I did it.
I was
Got
even.
him.
It scared me less than the first time
Yes,
you did that.
but I got a better shot of it this
Yeah,
time.
that's good.
I pulled it down and I was like, I'm not sure if this will work, but it might. I was like, why did I just say that?
into the camera that doesn't have a
I
microphone.
was like, oh! I forgot. Imagine if I pulled the mic and I was like, and I like said, I'm sure it wasn't as funny as I thought. I said a little blurb at the beginning. But
That'd be funny.
anyway, today we're talking about.
I was gonna say last week was the weirdest thing. Not weird. So Carlin
It
was
was a
on,
good episode.
but the weirdness of sitting there where you're sitting, like trying to talk to him, but I'm looking at the screen, so like it doesn't look like I'm talking to
Yeah.
him. It was a weird experience.
But it honestly, I watched it, didn't look as weird as you felt.
That's good.
But you were sitting in this big room alone, all
Mhm.
by yourself,
Mhm.
no one to talk to,
Yeah,
no friends in sight.
nobody. But now we can do that more
Yeah,
with both of us here.
yeah, we gotta like make a list of. Yeah, this is great. We can have guests who do not live here on.
Mhm.
So if there's anyone that anyone would like to have on the podcast, would be interested in us interviewing, please send us ideas because
Yeah.
now we can contact people who aren't from around here.
We just send them a link and they just
Bada
get on the
bing, bada
computer.
boom.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Great.
razzmatazz.
Blue Raz. Man, this thing's so good.
Yeah.
Anyway, but alas, here we are.
Alas.
12 minutes later. That's actually not as much as I thought.
Yeah. So it is now Easter.
Period.
Today we're recording this on the Friday after Easter, and what I wanted to talk about. So in Lent, there's
Mhm.
all kinds of stuff to do.
Let's talk about it. Fasting,
Abstaining.
prayer, almsgiving,
Stations
abstaining.
for me.
Yeah. Nobody can have sex during Lent.
Maybe, I don't know.
I will let Father Matthew decide if that's too inappropriate to keep on here, but I thought it was funny.
Stations of the Cross. Wearing purple.
Yeah.
All that. There are
it's
things.
and even just like your Lenten promises,
Mhm.
whatever they are individually.
Yeah. All the readings.
Whatever abstaining your. Sorry.
We're gonna get canceled. By
No,
by
there was
Catholics.
one episode that we didn't get canceled on, and if we didn't get canceled on that, we're set. So I could say whatever I want now.
All right.
Just kidding. But anyway.
So we do all those
Lots
things.
of things to do during Lent, yes.
And then Easter itself, like the day, it's like, all right, Easter, we do the vigil, which is awesome. We do all those things. But then suddenly we're in the Easter season. How should and I was thinking about like, what do we do with ourselves? Because now we fasted, now we want to like feast and celebrate. And does that mean that we should just binge and be gluttonous and all those things?
No.
That's so funny.
Nothing. My question for you is, when does the Easter season end?
Pentecost.
Why?
Because
Okay.
no, so there's kind of like two parts.
Well, and also, when is Pentecost? Actually, I don't know the date this year.
I don't know the
Is
date
it the same
either.
every year?
No,
Okay, I'll
because
Google
Easter
it.
changes.
So, okay, so Easter this year was
April 9th.
Okay, so Pentecost
Is
2023,
50 days from then.
May 28th.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a significant amount of time.
It's a
That's
huge
longer
amount of
than
time.
Lent.
It's longer than Lent. Yeah.
Seems intentional.
Yeah. So yeah, and like that Easter is more important than Lent, and so like
Yeah. So why is the Easter season that long? Sorry.
yeah. So partly it's it's entirely based on the time Jesus spent with his disciples after he rose from the dead and then ascended into heaven.
You know what? I'll say this. I did not really know that happened for a long time, and maybe I'm just stupid.
Which part?
That like
He was around for a while?
Yes. Like not like super recently, but I don't feel like it's all that uncommon for people. Maybe I just really missed the memo. But you think about the Passion. Jesus died on the cross. He resurrected from the dead and ascended. You think of the sorrowful mysteries. It's like boom, boom, boom. But he resurrected from the dead, meaning came alive from the dead,
and then for 40 days
was chilling and doing his thing alive.
Yeah,
after having died.
Yeah,
and then went to heaven, which is
I don't think it's crazy. Is the Ascension?
Right,
and then Pentecost.
Yeah, which is right after
10 days.
Okay.
So I don't think it's crazy because when you read the Bible, it tells a few things that happened in that time, like him different times he showed up the apostles and all the different, but it's kind of summarized. It's not like a long.
It seems like he did a brief one-day tour,
Exactly.
farewell tour.
Yeah. And I was thinking about today, like, man, I wonder what else he did. So the gospel reading today was Jesus. He's on the seashore. They're out fishing. He tells them to throw the net, and then they come back and he feeds them fish for breakfast, which you probably love.
Okay, don't come at me, bro.
You're from the East Coast.
This guy hates fish.
I do. It's funny because Jesus says, it's a great Bible verse, come have breakfast. Which is
that
awesome.
was my Instagram bio for a while.
I love that.
I thought it was so clever.
But then he's like, oh, it's just fish that he cooked on a fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no thank you.
You don't
Waffles,
like any
please,
you don't
Jesus.
like any fish.
No.
Yeah.
It's like psychological and taste.
But you know what I just realized is you like sumo. I know you don't get fish when you go, but it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Sumo's a hibachi place.
Yes. I feel like they could have figured that out.
So yeah, we don't know what he did all that during. So
and that's a long time.
It's a long time. So 40 days he was with them, then he ascended into heaven, and then said, "Wait for the coming of the Holy Spirit," which was 10 days later.
Mm-hmm. So all this to say, he rose from the grave and was still here on earth for 40 days.
40 days
until he yeeted up to.
Our God is an awesome God.
Yes, he is.
Uh-huh.
And then Pentecost, 10 days later. Cool. I didn't know the timing of all that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I feel like that's extremely significant. It kind of helps me to remember, why it's important to celebrate Easter. Because it's not just, and this is obviously extremely important, it's not just celebrating and glorifying God for the fact that he died on the cross for us. It's participating in the coming alive again that he had. And it's not just he came alive in heaven. It's
yeah.
What does resurrect for the dead mean? No, he came alive.
Yeah. And it's all part of, even the ascension is really part of that Paschal mystery. It's all kind of one thing. But yeah, so just that idea of what it means for Jesus to be alive again.
Yeah.
And he has quote unquote superpowers.
Yeah.
And that he just appears in the room and things like that they don't always recognize him. So something's different about his glorified body. But yeah, so I like that it's the same amount of time for us as it was for them. And so I think it's good for us to actually celebrate the season, just like we talked about it this year. Christmas isn't just one day; it's a season,
Yeah.
and Easter even more so is the season.
This just reminded me of
The newspaper
when
article.
I no, no. When I found out that Santa wasn't real. Sorry, 6-year-olds
Sorry,
listening to
kids.
the Noah's Love podcast.
We'll
But
put a trigger warning
my
at the beginning.
yeah, my mom said, or my dad was like, Santa isn't a person. He's in all of our hearts. Like, so when you said it's not a season or whatever you just said, made me think of that, which is why I laughed. But he did a great job. Like, I was like, yeah. So the tooth fairy's ready. Fess up. Give me the whole rundown.
I think you saw this, but a mom posted on Facebook that after the Easter Mass, her little daughter, who's like, I don't know, 6 or something, after my homily, turned to her and said,
Oh
"So
yeah.
where does the Easter Bunny fit into all of this?" It's such a great thing.
That killed me to
Mhm.
see. That's the best thing ever. Um Okay, well, my question for you is why did you think to talk about this? Like why do you see this as something we should discuss?
Because, so like if you go to Mass consistently throughout this time, you recognize that it's Easter, but the rest of our lives sort of go back to normal. That
Right, it's
you,
like I'm not doing this fasting thing
yeah,
anymore.
yeah,
Yeah.
you stop doing these penances, like everything just kind of goes back to normal, and it's easy to forget that no, this is a whole season of celebrating that Jesus came back to life.
Right.
That it's still heading towards something, the ascension and Pentecost. And so I thought, like, what do we do to actually mark that? I think like the liturgy isn't a small thing because that's what we do as Catholics, and that's how we,
And it follows these events.
yeah. And so that's a really significant part of it. But I thought about it with the blue raspberry Fanta slushies. It was just that
You
it's
can and it's good
it's good to
to
celebrate.
to eat like maybe you give us sweets for Lent. It's good to like not like eat sweets endlessly, but like to go get a fun drink with a friend or
Yeah.
I don't know. That sounds like small,
Hmm.
but like it's good to recognize like I don't have to do these penances anymore because that was a time of all that Lent is. There's
Yeah.
a lot of words you can use, but this is a time of rejoicing
Hmm.
and like it's I think it's easy to just think of like every year I go through this 40-day period where it's just really hard and
Hmm.
then like that's it, I go back to normal. And
Yeah,
then eventually I'll get back here again. But it's like, no, you prepare yourself and then you like move forward in joy
yeah.
into the Easter season.
We need to be celebrating, and just as much as Lent reminds us of how Jesus suffered and died for us, Easter can be a time of remembering that
How he rose for
he's
us.
alive for us now.
Mm-hmm.
I saw priests on Twitter calling this Meat Friday because
Yeah, you
it's
said that
like,
earlier.
yeah, so it's, yeah, after all those Fridays of Lent and then Good Friday, this is a Friday where it's like, no, we celebrate all of the octave of Easter from Easter Sunday till the Sunday after as Easter Day.
Mm-hmm.
So at Mass, we do everything the same we do on Easter. The Liturgy of the Hours is basically the same the whole time because it's like it's supposed to be one giant feast, and that's something the church used to do with a lot of feasts, like the octave of Pentecost and the octave of Christmas, which you can still do. But this is really significant that um, we treat it with just as much like solemnity as Easter Day. And so, yeah, getting a steak on Friday after Easter or getting a blue slushy.
Did you get a steak?
No, not yet.
Oh, got
I
big
don't, we'll
plans?
see. It's
Sorry,
been a
I was just
busy
like,
day.
oh.
Yeah. But yeah, I think just little things that can seem like nothing, but it's okay to like to treat yourself, um, because it is a time to celebrate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, um, what do you are there traditions that you have for Easter Day that you've always celebrated?
No. But
Good answer.
what if I was just like, no? Well, I think that's largely due to just like my state in life.
Yeah.
I plan for there to be.
Hmm.
Um, but we always celebrate. So, but it just like has changed as life has gone on. Growing up, it was like meals at home, but
Hmm.
um, I'm not always with my whole family on holidays. But we were with my parents this Easter. Pardon me. And so my parents treated us to a really nice Italian dinner in downtown Baltimore.
Nice.
On on Easter evening, which was so fun. I
Mhm.
don't know that I've ever gone out to eat on Easter, but it was like our way of celebrating. I got veal, which is my favorite food, but I don't
Mm.
like frequently eat veal. It's
Mhm.
not sold in the grocery stores.
Yeah.
It was like a nice treat for myself. We got like a gelato after, and just like, yeah, like had a nice evening out with
Mhm.
my parents and my husband. And so that was like our own version of that, but always marking it with some sort of celebrating. One awesome example of this, I went to Franciscan University. Have you heard about their resurrection party?
I've been there, yeah.
Yeah, it's so fun. So I sang it at one time, which was so fun. It's
Like,
like a
with the
party
band
all
at the
night.
party?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they do the Easter vigil. And I think every Franciscan student should stay on campus for at least one Easter because it's just so awesome how they celebrate it there. And then a party that goes literally all night. I think it goes till 4 or 5 in the morning. There's a band playing all night. They like release a ton of balloons. They invest a lot of money in it. There's tons of food, and it's just like a giant dance party all night after the Easter vigil.
That's great.
Um, and it's so I got that weird little situation there. Um, it's so fun. It's just like a blast, and it's like
Mhm.
good, clean fun. Not to be like,
Yeah.
but that's really what it is. And I think that's like such a great example. They do it every single year.
Mm.
So now, I mean, it'll shift as I'm married and whenever we have kids. Like, I want those traditions like growing up because I had them growing up like consistently. We would like make a big meal,
Mhm.
and we always watched The Passion on Friday, so we did that this
Mhm.
year as well. Um, but I want to implement that. But right now we're like one year
Yeah.
and we're in Boston, one year and we're in Maryland, and this family does this and that family does that, and it's also cool to like be able to bring like sets of traditions together
Mhm.
as we come from different families, but also to build our own as we start our own family, which is really cool. So
Yeah.
no,
Yeah, yeah.
but I think that's important, and at least like the tradition of marking it as important with an important meal is something
Yeah.
I've always done, and I think that's really fun. What about you?
Yeah.
You've like done the same thing for Easter, I feel like your whole life, right?
Yeah, it's true. So usually
Which is awesome. I think
yeah.
that's unique though.
Yeah. And especially, like, I'm not married. My brother's not married.
No way.
Amanda's married.
She is, but
Um,
she lives here.
yeah. And so, like, um, yeah, just and, Easter basket stuff as kids, we would do that,
No,
but
oh yeah, we did that too. Do
yeah.
you still?
I got a giant Hershey bar handed to me. And I'm thankful for that because I love it. But so I didn't,
And
like,
I'm
hunt
thankful for that.
I didn't hunt for it.
Who
Uh,
handed it to you?
my mom.
That was very nice.
Yeah, so I'm not trying to, like, bash it, just saying it wasn't like an Easter egg
That was
hunt.
so funny, and I'm thankful for that. Don't come at me. I was good.
But we go to my aunt's house and have, like, ham and, they
You like ham a lot.
I do love ham a lot.
Ham a lot.
Uh-huh. And so that's a tradition of getting, like, Easter foods blessed on Saturday. Like, we do it at this parish,
I
and
saw you do it this parish?
it's at Our Lady of Lourdes, but yeah.
Oh,
And,
see, I've never been here
yeah,
for Christmas or Easter. We are going to be here for Christmas this
that'd
year.
be
We
great.
decided.
Yeah.
So
Midnight mass.
I love midnight mass.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Anyway, good
So
job. What is that? I saw a
the
post about that.
also, people bring a basket. It's kind of sampling of foods. Usually there's, like,
Ham.
bread, there's ham, like, usually, like, little things of ham. We always have kielbasa, like Polish sausage too. They make little butter lambs, so, like, they
Yeah.
press lambs into butter, so that's in
They
there.
press lambs into butter. Gross, honestly.
Yes.
No, thank you.
Sometimes, usually, like, chocolate or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Sometimes people put wine. Sometimes people put, like, salt and pepper. So, like, all that gets blessed. And so
Oh.
at my aunt's house, there's always, like, a separate little tray with the blessed foods, and so you
Oh,
take
that's
some of
really
those
cute.
too. Yeah. So that's all a big part of it.
I love that.
Yeah, it's great. They do I don't know when this started, but it's like a sort of tournament of hard-boiled egg breaking. So at your table, you smash these hard-boiled eggs into each other's, and then whoever's doesn't break in the end wins a prize.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have heard, I think this might be my dad's family. Somewhere in my family, they had all broken on their head, and one was not hard boiled or
That's funny.
something, or like someone pranked someone with it. I don't know. I
I
love
like
that
I
idea.
like that.
I love Easter egg hunts. My family was
Mm.
intense with Easter egg hunts. And if you know my family, that will not be surprising to you. So it's just me and my brother. And as we got older, it wasn't like, okay, we're not doing this anymore. It was like, no, this is getting hard. They're not just thrown in the yard anymore. And so, like, we, like, years later would still find eggs in
Amazing.
our house and random places in our house because, like, my parents had to work really hard to hide
That's
them.
great.
And that's a really great memory I have.
Mhm.
And I wish that I wasn't the one who had to hide them for my kids. I might make Zach do that so
So you
I
can
can
participate.
demolish them. My, like, 5-year-old, I'll be like, get out of there.
That's great.
But I love Easter egg hunts
Yeah.
anyway. And honestly, we didn't do this year. I don't know if we've ever done it since we've been married. But I thought a little too late that we should do Easter baskets for
Mhm.
each other. I like that idea.
Yeah.
But we always had those growing up. We always had peeps in them.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was like a thing.
Yeah.
But which are so disgusting if you think about it.
I
But
bought them for myself
I don't
this
think
Easter.
I eat them.
Mhm.
But like if you think about it, you know what I mean? It's
Just
like marshmallow coated in
sugar.
in colored dyed
Mhm.
sugar.
Yeah.
I can
love it.
only have like 1 or 2 at a time.
I kinda like them after they sit for a few days.
Yeah, you're one of those, aren't you?
Yeah, I am one of those.
I am not.
Your Easter egg story reminded me of a few weeks ago. I was at my parents' house, and my niece and nephew were there. So we went up in the woods, and I found a plastic Easter egg.
Oh.
And so I gave it to Sophia, my niece, and she was really excited about it. And then Joseph was like, "Well, I want an egg," and just wandered off. And I was like, "There aren't any, like, there aren't more. There aren't more to find. It's just the one."
Did he literally say, "I want an egg"?
Yeah,
and
yeah. And just walked off into the.
and you let him go.
Yeah,
He
I found him.
Yeah. Joseph's okay.
Yeah. But all this to say,
Celebrate good times. Come on.
yes, like we don't have to just save it for the one day.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't do this, but like I'm thinking about it now of how can you mark like all the Sundays of Easter and like do things throughout the time with your family in your rectory if you have one of those.
You got one of those laying around?
Yeah, and like Father Nick came up, and so it was nice because it was like a few days even after Easter of like just doing special things. And
what I want to do is plan an Easter egg hunt for whoever lives in the rectory next year.
Oh man,
I think that'd be so fun if we did an Easter egg hunt around
that
here.
would be fun.
And I if anyone wants to volunteer to do the hiding, I'd love to be a seeker.
No,
but
we
if
could do
someone's
that for
gonna
you
hide
guys,
it,
yeah.
I feel like
about
Zach
it more
would
than
love
I
it. I
do.
feel like Zach would love it too. Or maybe Joanne. I feel like she'd be a good egg hider.
It would be hard.
Yeah, I know. That'd be so fun.
That's a good idea.
We should do that. We won't. We
the
might
one
be.
parish here used to do an Easter egg hunt for kids, but it just became like too hard for the ladies to put it on. But they gave out candy at mass.
I'd be happy to put on an Easter egg hunt at the parish next year.
Okay.
I'm a good egg hider.
Do you all hear that?
Check my parish app for details.
That's right. Yeah, we'll do that.
But it's good. Yeah, it's good to look back and have memories of celebrating.
Mm-hmm. And I think imagine like as a kid. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, all good. Go
imagine
ahead, man.
as a kid where like so you celebrate Easter and then like it just kind of keeps coming.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't just have to be a one day thing, and I think that's important because it shows how important the resurrection is. Yeah.
What are some things we can do to implement it beyond just like Easter Day? Because I do think that's not super common.
Yeah.
Like, not to anyone's fault, but I grew up really celebrating it on Easter, and then it was like, okay, not that like now we're done, but like the life goes back to normal thing. So what are some ways, and they don't have to be huge, but that we can, I don't know,
I think it's
do that.
Yeah, the thing that jumped into my mind is Sundays, like so you're going to mass Saturday night or Sunday throughout hopefully all the time.
All of your life. But fingers crossed.
During the Easter season, like maybe do something special as a family on those Sundays alongside mass to
like a nice meal every Sunday.
Yeah, a nice meal or like
steak. We know what this guy wants.
A steak.
You have some steak in your freezer.
We do.
Make it.
Good call. I will.
Okay.
Yeah, so just like maybe a special meals or like and I think also like adding maybe some sort of special prayer thing.
Yeah.
Especially if you have little kids, that's a great way to teach them how to pray.
Maybe,
what do you think?
Well, the steaks, what I'm thinking about is the steaks that you gave us.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll bring back here and cook them together because we don't have a grill.
Yeah.
And it would just be much better if we did it that way.
True.
So that is what, in all honesty, what was going through my mind.
Microwave that steak.
Yay.
Yes.
We can make
Um,
cream of corn too. You know how much I love cream of corn. You know about that, right?
I think it's creamed corn.
There's two
Cream
things.
of corn,
Don't
isn't
even
that like a
try to do.
soup?
No, you stop talking. Google.
We had this
I'm
discussion
pissed.
already.
No, there's two. They both exist. Cream of corn versus creamed corn. Cream of corn is a soup, so I was saying the wrong one, but they both exist.
I know they both exist.
Oh, I thought you were saying
No,
creamed.
but I don't think
Okay,
cream
you're
of
right.
corn is like liquid, right?
Cream of corn. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But well, yes,
Creamed corn's like the
what I like.
soupy corn. Is it just corn mixed with cream of corn?
Probably at the end of the day.
I don't know.
I don't know how similar it is, but it's not. Maybe there's more. No, that wouldn't be a good broth. There's no broth, and it's like it's the most unhealthy. It's like a heart
I have
attack
no
in a crock
idea.
pot.
Yeah,
It's like cream cheese, sugar, salt, maybe a little milk. I can't remember. Butter and
Well,
corn.
that's all you need.
It's so good. Clog your arteries right up.
After the
Give me
vigil,
them clogged arteries.
we air fried some mini corn dogs and taquitos.
Nice.
Yeah,
Of course you did.
so that was good.
I want to be here for Easter next year too. Maybe next year because it's hard with like both of our families don't live here.
Yeah.
Well, both of our parents don't live here, so most holidays were with one. But
You're welcome to come to our post vigil party.
oh, I will.
11:30 at night.
I might not actually. I'm going to bed earlier and earlier as the days pass by. Maybe I'll make this one exception.
Mm-hmm. It's Easter.
I struggle with the Easter Vigil. That's me being vulnerable.
I don't get it.
I know. Thanks for responding so well to my.
I'm sorry
No,
you
it's
shared
okay.
something so vulnerable.
Well, it is kind of weird, I think, because maybe you have some advice for anyone who can relate to this. I really like midnight mass on Christmas. But I think it's just hard for me how long it is. And I find, and yeah, that sounds like super selfish, but like practically, I just struggle to like enter in and like stay there. And I'd like to. I think it's super beautiful, but at least when I'm there, it's always tough for me. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that. Why is it so long? Why could that be? Help me.
More than any other mass, like it's different than any other mass.
Yes.
So like you start outside with the fire, so that's doesn't usually happen.
The whole parish does, right? Is it everybody?
Everybody's invited, yeah.
But
go
they
out
could just
there.
stay inside.
And people like older people do.
Is there are you microphoned?
Yeah, I don't know if it worked.
Okay,
because
cool.
I walked into the church after that, and someone's like, "Your microphone's dead." No one heard anything you said.
So I guess it didn't work.
Yeah.
Oh well.
But yeah. So there's prayers outside. You prepare the Easter candle. You light the Easter candle. Then you process in. I think that's partly why people don't go outside, because the church is totally dark.
Yeah.
And so then the light. So there's that whole ceremony of the candle spreading with the light.
Now I love that.
Yeah, that's great.
Like that's the thing is that I think the aspects of it are so beautiful. Obviously.
Then we sing the Exalted.
Yeah.
Or the deacon sings the Exalted.
It's just in theory.
Yeah, so that's
a little tough for me.
A whole part.
Yeah.
The readings are lengthy. We do all of them because we're not playing around.
How many are there?
There's 7 Old Testament readings, a New Testament reading, and the Gospel.
Okay. How long was it this year? Like 2.5?
2 hours and 50 minutes.
50?
50. That's with baptizing 2 people and then confirming 4.
Oh, right. I forget that happens, which is really cool.
Yeah. So the longest, the readings are a long stretch where, you're mainly just sitting and listening.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, you get into all the initiation stuff. So there's, this is going to sound terrible. There's something to watch.
Yeah.
But like, it's different.
They're mixing it up.
I'm just wiggling my hands around it, and I'm bothering myself.
No, you're not. And the funny thing is that I was talking to you about this the other day. So I've spent the past 2 Easters, not this one, the 2 before in Boston with Zach's family. And they go to the Easter Vigil. And admittedly, when I was first told this, I was like, oh no, like, because I think the thing is I feel so guilty feeling like, when I'm at Mass.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end, I do feel that way. Which, honestly, I just need to grow more personally is probably the answer. But in Boston, it is not that long. It's like maybe an hour and a half. Maybe some of the Stevies are watching this going, no, it's not. You totally forgot. But I'm pretty sure it is because they don't do all the readings. Like you have the option to not.
Yeah.
But you like do the whole thing. And I agree with that. Like if you're going to do the Easter Vigil, do the whole Easter Vigil.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't as long. But we got to see the baptisms and stuff. So
Yeah,
I
and
cry.
that's awesome.
I cry every time.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
I like all the readings because you get kind of the whole story of salvation history.
Yeah. They read the whole Bible, actually.
And we do the Psalms so that it's not like normally when you sing the Psalm on Sunday, it's like the antiphon verse.
Mm-hmm.
We just do antiphon, all the verses, antiphon.
Okay.
And that I'm conscious of the time.
Yeah.
So it helps move things so that everything doesn't take forever.
What time did it start?
8:30.
8:30.
It has to be after sunset.
Oh.
Like every year the diocese sends us an email.
Okay, so it ended at like 12:30.
No.
8:30, 9:30, 9:30, 10:30, 10:30, 11:30. That's 3 hours. You're right. It ended at like 11:30.
Yeah. But the diocese sends an email saying this is the time the earliest you can have the Easter
that's
Vigil.
pretty cool.
So this year's 8:15, so we're not going to have mass at 8:15.
Do you what was it last year? Do you remember? Like does it change?
It's always the same, yeah.
Okay. So basically it'll always be at 8:30 here.
Or 8:30, something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Depending on when Easter falls.
Yeah. Well, this just became a fun little Easter trip.
We're just learning things.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe I'll go next year. We'll see.
There were 381 people there.
That's awesome.
Which is huge. Like,
how much does the church technically fit? Do you know?
450-ish.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How many were at the 11 o'clock mass the other day?
Like 423 or something.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's not like we're like, yes, high score.
No, but you count who comes every.
We count, and it's helpful to see, especially the vigil, because the vigil is usually not like that. It's well attended, but not like that.
Yeah, that's really, really beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll see.
So
anyway,
yeah.
So I think that's about it. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Father Michael, how's God loved you lately?
God has loved me lately. So Easter's great. It's really tiring. I love the downtime after Easter as well, where it's like, okay, we did all that. Just gonna relax. Slept in a couple days, which was really good. Visited with friends, had some bonfires. So that was all really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice. So I think just that Easter is awesome, but then it's also awesome to recuperate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Maryland for Easter, as I said, with my parents. We had a really great time. Zach and I got in the car after. We were like, that was a great visit.
Good.
And usually I just it's not often that I get time with just me and my husband and my parents. So it was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always just we relaxed a lot, and they have their two doggies, and one of them just cuddled with me the whole time. It was amazing. She'd wait outside my door in the morning with a toy.
Man.
She is very cute. When to greet people, she'll get a toy and bring it to you, and that's how she always greets people, without fail. So just it was nice and relaxing. Good to be in my hometown. Good to be with my parents. And, a good break, a good Easter break. Yeah,
so
overall.
Cute.
So cute.
The dog.
Yeah. So you had a good Easter break. So cute.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in.
All right. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I don't know why I sighed. It did work. I said it wouldn't, but it did. I'm so happy. We should hold it. Hey, welcome to our vlog.